The New Orleans Saints back at home at the Ochsner Sports Performance Center as training camp is on the verge of being complete. It is the New Orleans Saints training camp show right here on CST. I'm Todd Graffagnini. This is John DeShazier. JD, it's hard to believe, but the light is finally at the end of the tunnel. The grind is nearly complete. This month-long training camp almost done.
Yeah, one last official day left in training camp. Now, that doesn't mean they'll stop practicing, folks. You know that's not true. But one last day officially left in training camp. And, you know, the main thing is, did they get in the work that they set out to get in during this training camp period? I'd like to believe that the Saints would tell you that they did. Certainly, we've seen some improvement from several players. We've seen not what we expected out of several players. And hopefully, all these guys will continue to trend upward as we approach the regular season.
Well, there's one game to play this week as well, heading on the road in the Meadowlands at MetLife Stadium against the New York Jets. And the big question, JD, as far as the local media was today, is number 9 going to play?
Yeah, well, we know during the preseason his work has decreased over the years. You know, he doesn't need as much work as he used to, and obviously the quarterbacks behind him, Teddy Bridgewater and Taysom Hill, could use some of those reps.
Well, the question was asked. Let's hear from head coach Sean Payton with the answer.
I think our approach with him maybe has changed a little bit over the years. So, you know, you're getting a lot of live looks in practice. But I think, you know, in a game like this, we'll plan on playing him. How much we'll see, but I think it's important for everyone else around him too. I think it starts with the advancement. You know, we're that much further along relative to health and nutrition. It's a credit to him. And when you're seeing players play later in their career at the level that they're playing, you know, we've come up a lot further along than we would have been 20 years ago. You know, all the things that he does relative to preparing for a season that go unnoticed, there's so much that goes into it. He's in great physical shape. You know, he spends year-round on training, so it's not just, you know, take the summer off, and there's a lot that goes into what you're seeing on the field.
Well, JD, quarterback Drew Brees, we talked about him last week in California, how he hated to take vet days. He always wants the reps. It appears he might play in this game here on Saturday, and I know he's ready for it.
Yeah, the guy does not like to take a day off. He likes to get in as much work as possible. It keeps him sharp, and obviously you see the results over his career. He's going to the Hall of Fame. He's the all-time leading passer in terms of yards in the NFL. He's the all-time leader in passing completion percentage. So, you know, you see the work that he's done and the results of it.
Well, here's quarterback Drew Brees on his playing time on Saturday.
Listen, I like reps, you know, so I like reps during practice. I like reps in games especially. I also understand the balance of, you know, listen, what are you trying to accomplish, right? At the end of the day, the most important thing is being as healthy and prepared as you can be for week 1 of the regular season, right, when games are begin to count. I also understand the desire and need to develop young players, right, to get guys reps at all different positions, right? So, you know, the last couple of years, I've just gotten, you know, really 1 game, right, maybe 2 in the preseason. So, I'm fine with that, you know, but I want it to be quality, you know, I want us to be sharp, so it's important.
Well, JD, we talked about Drew Brees not getting any playing time in the preseason. Neither has number 94 defensive end Cam Jordan, so he's anxious to get back out there.
And you're talking about a guy who, like Drew Brees, does not like to miss work. He is the energizer bunny of that defense. Every time you turn around, he's bouncing around from drill to drill, so you know it really aggravates him to not be on the field during those preseason games.
Here's defensive end Cam Jordan.
I mean, honestly, I trust the foundation. I trust that, you know, at the end of the day, we as an organization have a plan for guys like Drew, guys, I don't know if I'm in the same caliber as Drew, but guys that have been a part of the team for, you know, 8, 9 years. They've seen what you see every day of practice, you're going to see at a game. So as long as you're playing with that type of speed, that type of mentality, I trust the process.
Tight end Jared Cook and quarterback Drew Brees had chemistry from the beginning of training camp. The odd thing is they have not played in a game together in the preseason, and I know Jared Cook's looking forward to it, JD.
Yeah, very much so. You can see some of the throws that Drew Brees has made to Jared Cook. Some of those where he's basically kind of thrown him open, or if Jared Cook's been covered and it's been a 50-50 situation, he gives the big man a chance to come down with the football.
Here's tight end Jared Cook on playing with Drew Brees.
I'm pretty excited. We've been going through OTAs and through early camp. Getting reps here and there and just kind of working each other is good to kind of put it in game mode and get out there on the field and go through some game time situations. Even tempo, things as far as tempo is important. So I'm excited.
Obviously, in the first week of training camp, y'all had this chemistry thing going, but now it's 3 weeks later. What would you say you are now?
Same. I mean, just keep improving, keep on getting better until we really line it up for real. I think that's the most important thing, is just continue building a rapport with him. And we're never really going to see how it is until we, game plan, get into game time situations, and get the feel for each other for real. So just continue to build and work on that in practice as close as you can get.
Up next on the New Orleans Saints Training Camp Show right here on CST, we'll take a look at another quarterback challenge.
All right, here we are, Saints-Chargers joint practices, training camp. Quarterback competition number 2 this time around. We had to come up with a good one today. Had to be creative as well. So our targets today are going to be aged fatheads of all the QBs represented here today. Anyway, we're going to have a good time. So we have the targets set up in the end zones. Those will all be worth 1 point, all right? They're all our fatheads. Then we've got a fathead on a dummy that's going to be a moving target. That'll be worth 2, all right? The cart will continue to move, and the quarterback will have a throw into the net at about 20 yards, but on the move, so simulating like a go route down the sideline. And then you got to reload quickly and hit one about 40 yards. You get that one, that's worth 5 points. So 1 point for the end zones, 2 point for the moving fathead, 3 point for the short net, 5 point for the deep net. Chargers have 4 quarterbacks, we have 3. So we're going to get to go, somebody's going to get to go twice on our end. So 4v4, here we go, youngest oldest.
All right, here we go. Ding!
Nicely done.
Right in the face.
Bam! Deep ball and ooh! Yes, nicely done. What? Ah! Yeah. 4, 5, 6. That right eye's getting torn up, Teddy. Leg up right here. Oh yeah. 14-8. 9. 10. Short. I got the papa. I got you. Ah! Not even close. Sorry, Easton. He's not going to make it. 17-13. Oh, sorry, Kyle. Ball. We're oh, one time! Oh, yeah! All right, Saints started strong there. Chargers finished strong. So they're 22-17 right now, but they've had 4 throwers. We've just had 3. So I get the bonus throwing around here. They're up 22-17. Here we go.
up. Just miss all these here just so you can have one walk off. It was going down to Saturday anyway.
Not quite how we drew it up, but then again, it was.
Final segment of the show, New Orleans Saints training camp show right here on CST. Todd Graffagnini, John DeShazier. JD, kind of apropos, we're finishing the show, kind of dodging the raindrops. The team actually practiced in the rain for the first time all camp today.
Yeah, the one and only time I believe this training camp that the Saints have worked in some rain. Now, there was a threat of lightning earlier, and so they went inside into the indoor facility. But today, the only one where they had a little bit of rain and actually just cooled things off a little bit. Wasn't so detrimental that they couldn't get the work done.
They got the work in. We got the work in as we have all training camp. Don't forget one final practice out here at the Ochsner Sports Performance Center tomorrow, beginning at 8:50, and then training camp breaks officially. We'll be here on CST again tomorrow with another update. For John DeShazier, this is Todd Graffagnini. We'll see you tomorrow here on CST.